But give us a bit about your background, how you got started. I know you moved out to LA. You were chasing the dream to become an entertainer. What was that like when you first got started?
I always, at a young age, I always wanted to be an actor and a comedian. And, I like to make people laugh. It was like an obsession of mine early on. And so I had this good voice that I discovered probably in high school, this broadcaster voice that you can hear right now. When I turn it on, it sounds a little bit, I mean, I did stay up very late last night, so it's a little off. But yeah, I mean, I just got, I had a good voice, and I always used to walk up to people in public, and no matter what, if they were eating dinner, if they were fucking hanging with their friends, whatever, I would just walk right up to them and be like, Tom Brady, ESPN here tonight. And I would just do my broadcaster voice. And everybody, for the most part, would just turn at me and be like, that's fucking amazing. And I'd be like, you know what? It does sound pretty good. So I just kept doing the shtick, moved out to LA, ended up working at a golf course, carrying golf bags for some pretty notable people like Aaron Rodgers and Will Ferrell. And, I was right in Hollywood, where all the action was. But the problem was I wanted to be an actor comedian, but I like to party too much. So I didn't get too much auditions done or hard work done. So I kind of just fucking kind of fell off a little bit, hit rock bottom, I guess you could say, and had to come back to Boston, which then I started these comedic play-by-plays where I just took clips that you see every day in sports, and I kind of added my own twist with my voice, because you don't often hear, guys that sound like Joe Buck or Jim Nantz or any of these famous sportscasters talk about cocaine, hookers, blow, and fucking saying the dumbest shit in the world. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I could have probably been mainstream media, I think, because I had a good voice and I could call a game. But I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to play very, very, I didn't want to work my way up to fucking News Center 5 and then fucking local AAA baseball. And, I just thought there was a faster avenue utilizing social media. And that's what I did. And it grew pretty quick.
You put out everything on your social media, on your stories. You live such a public life. I know, you just taking a break with your beautiful girlfriend. She's an unbelievable sort. Absolute 10 out of 10, I must say. I know how you do it. But do you like living and putting everything out? It's so raw and authentic about, whether you're on a break or how you're going. And I know you used to plug her heaps on your socials. Do you enjoy, not enjoy, but how is that like putting your life out like that on social media? Do you like doing that?
My favorite thing to do. I look at it as like it's like a little movie I try and shoot every day. Like I try and shoot a little movie. It's like my little fucking play toy, and believe it or not, like everything, you put everything out there. I don't I'm not the kind of guy that's like, all right, cut this. Let's edit this here, guys. Let's move this here. I just fucking take my gun out, one take, whatever happens, fucking happens, and post it. I don't fucking think of shit. Just whenever I feel like pick up the phone and shoot. I love it. I just love to shoot my life. My girlfriend fucking obviously, she secretly likes it, but at the same time, she gets a little carried away.
Yeah.
I've gotten some people fired from jobs. I've caught people in affairs, divorces, fucking crazy ass shit with that thing. You want to know a great trick I used to do?
Yeah, please hit me.
So when I was single, right, I have obviously fucking, 500,000 people view my little stories every single day. So when I was single, what I used to do, I used to go to the bar, and I'm sitting there, and there's two beautiful girls sitting right here, right? And they're facing towards me. I used to take my phone out, and I used to press record and hold it down and pan around the restaurant and catch their face in the story, right? And then I used to just go boop and put it out to the world. And I would wait 5 minutes. And then before you know it, every fucking dude that fucks with me would text those girls and be like, you're sitting next to Bob, you with Bob, blah, blah. And it was like shooting fish in a fucking barrel.
Do you find that when you go out to clubs and bars and people are coming up and taking photos with you, I reckon you'd probably get it a lot. Do you think girls see that and gravitate towards you? It's just like it's almost a presence thing. It's like they want clout and they see people taking photos of like, who is this guy?
I'm very isolated. Like when I go out, I don't really have, because I've always been in a relationship. When I'm single, Bob is not good. I just get in trouble. So when I'm in a relationship, I don't even look at anybody when I'm out. Like I don't know. I never even notice girls. When I have a girlfriend, really, just not. I think for certain people, but for me, not really. I don't. I mean, if I wanted to, it's definitely like an advantage having that, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't really. Not for me personally. I don't really even think about it.
Like you said, you do like the party side of being a social media star. You use the term zapped, right? And that's not a term that we know down here. You get zapped. We call it, off your head or
Cooked.
Yeah, you're cooked.
Yeah.
What does zap mean in the States?
Zapped is just something me and my buddy started saying. It means you're fucked up, wild. It can be anything. If you have sex with a girl, I zapped a girl. I was fucking zapped last night. There's a lot of different meanings to it,
Is that strictly for Boston though, or is that all across America? People use zapped.
I think, to be honest with you, not trying to be whatever, I think I started it where it's now everywhere because the Nelk started saying it, the Nelk boys in full send, and then it just went everywhere. So now, every time somebody comes up to me in public, like, you zapped, I'm like, fuck, something caught on there.
You definitely did
I'm like,
start
yes, I am zapped.
Another hilarious thing that I find is your newscaster voice. In Australia, we've got our broadcaster. He's Ray Warren. He's everyone tries to imitate his voice. Who did you get inspiration from when you were trying to do your broadcaster voice? Because I know there's the NFL guy.
There's Collinsworth. Al Michaels,
I used to watch all those guys. I used to watch them all. I used to, my father was in the voiceover game. He did commercials, local commercials. But, Joe Buck was the guy that I fucking really looked up to. I love the way, and he gets such a bad rep. The Fox guy, the main broadcaster does all the Super Bowls. He gets a bad rep, but he's the fucking man. I think he's the best to do it. So I used to watch him. I used to turn the volume down, call games. And, but yeah, Buck was probably the guy that I looked up to the most. And funny enough, throughout my, endeavors, I've had a chance to hang with Joe and play some golf with him. And it's the weirdest fucking thing in the world.
It's
unreal. So fucking strange because my voice, I turn my voice on, I don't really talk like this the whole time. I'm not like talking like this, but the fucking weird thing is I'm playing golf with Joe Buck and I can hear him down on the other side of the fairway and his voice it's just that, I got to put mine on like a little shtick.
Some of our favorite clips, the one that initially sent you viral when everyone thought you got fired because you dropped saying fuck on as an announcer
at a Michigan
and
game.
People are reaching out to you, hey, really, really sorry about your job and stuff like that. You convinced almost America that you were an actual announcer at one point, which is fucking hilarious. Do you feel like you've got you're known as the announcer and as you grow, your social media platform's so big now that you try and venture out of that and do other things?
Yeah, you have to. I don't think I can be doing fucking sports broadcasting clips for fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
So, they get old as they already are. So you got to kind of switch it up. You have, with my product, it grew very quick. There was not a lot of people doing it. There was not a lot of people fucking that had the voice and was able to just say some of the things I was saying and whatnot. So from there, you build a shitload of people. And then when you have a shitload of people that fuck with you, you can create any fucking, that's the cool thing about my world is I can do so many different things and help so many different businesses. And, because I have 9 fucking million people that fuck with me on the internet. And so, when you have that, big of a number that follow you, there's so many different avenues for different ways to branch your business off.
What's it like having that kind of power, that kind of reach? 3.3 million on Instagram, massive YouTube following, one of the best podcasts in the world. What's it like having that?
We actually don't have a big YouTube. We don't have a big YouTube following. I don't really fuck with YouTube. I never did YouTube. It's stupid too because that's where all the money is and stuff. But I just never really wanted. Everybody always tells me vlog, Bobby, vlog. Like have a camera follow you around. I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. I don't want to fucking have a camera follow me around 24/7. It's like, when I did this stuff with the Nelk boys, I would go and open up a refrigerator, get a sandwich, and be a fucking camera in there. I'm like, I can't fucking live like this. So I chose not to fucking do any of the vlogging stuff, and that's why my YouTube following isn't that big.